He is David the Bullet Smith, joining us live this morning on this Monday, President's Day. Thank you so much for getting up early with us. Okay,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're known as the human cannonball. How does a kid from South Salem High School wind up making a living being shot out of a cannon?
Well, when I was a kid, I grew up on the road. My parents, my dad did the same thing, so I'm following in his flight path, so to speak. But when we weren't on tour, we'd go home to the house that my dad built. My grandpa and my uncle lived next door, and the Pinkertons and all my friends and stuff. So when we were on the road, we'd go out, and my dad would get shot out of a cannon, and I'd watch him since a little age. And then one day I came home from school. I was in Rush College Elementary, Walker Middle School, and South Salem High School, Saxon. So I came home from high school one day with my gym bag and my saxophone, and my dad had the cannon and the net set up out front, and he said, "Okay, I'm calling your bluff, hop in." And that was my first shot out of a cannon, was a tiny little cannon shot in Salem, Oregon, in our front yard. And since then I've traveled for, I think it's 26 years as a human cannonball, as a professional. And and so I got this opportunity to be on America's Got Talent, and my team and myself, we prepared so hard. And when they asked me where I'm from and who I wanted to talk to, when it came time, I said, you know what, I want to say hi to all my friends back in Oregon. So I love you guys. It's been so long. Please reconnect. I have the greatest, fondest memories of everybody back in high school and stuff. So
were you training for this when you were a student at South Salem High?
Well, you know, in South Salem, I learned some very valuable things. I mean, my athletics growing up, I was a wrestler and on the football team. And I had the great fortune of learning how to train my body, not only from my father, who was a collegiate athlete, but like coaches, you know, my coaches. There were huge assets later on in my career, learning how to be, you know, stronger, maintain my body, and all the athleticism that goes into that short little stunt there. But, you know, being shot out of a cannon, you see the height, the angle we're pointing the cannon. We went steeper than we've ever done before, by far, going into America's Got Talent, pointing that thing straight up. And so, like, the pressure on my body really increased. And in order to handle that, I literally, 6 months earlier, I could not physically have handled that cannon shot. And I learned how to build my body by, you know, Coach Haugen, Coach Defoe, and Coach Sorensen. Man, you taught me how to build the muscle and protect your body. So
I love that.
I really,
Logistics question, David. What is propelling you out of there, and have you ever been hurt doing this?
Oh, I've been hurt plenty of times to varying degrees. You know, it's kind of I mean, little wipeouts to major injuries. You know, I've cracked a vertebrae. I've broken both shoulders in the same season. You know, broken leg and things like that. But that one right there, that was a world record for the farthest and the highest. That's Xbox Sea of Thieves. We premiered it, and they rented me the whole Raymond James Stadium to put on one cannon shot for them live. Well, the official Guinness measurements, that cannon shot right there is about, we broke 195 feet in a straight line, and then fell down another 40 feet, 218 to that airbag. Now, airbag was something that was new to me. That was actually only the second time I'd ever shot and landed in an airbag.
Oh, wow.
But yeah,
it's usually a net.
That was a surprise. Yeah, that was a surprise. You know, the whole thing, it felt like I landed on a board from that high, but you know, the adrenaline, I jumped up, walked away, and yahoo, we made it. New world record.
Now,
the highest one we did in,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, the highest one we did in Saudi Arabia, the highest Guinness measured, and that was 89 feet high in the end of 2019.
Now, I think of a cannon, I think of like Saturday morning cartoons practically, David. I'm sure it's not this way, but is there like a lighting of a fuse? Is it electric? Like, what is propelling you out of there? Because you do see a little explosion after you shoot out.
It's all secret sauce. I can't tell you how the cannon works.
Okay.
But I will tell you, there's an awful lot of math involved.
I bet.
Those are the baseball games that we do on a daily basis. I'll do 3 of those in a week. And you know, sometimes 4 or 5 even if we have the staff to move it. So there's an awful lot of maintenance to make sure that you have the faith and accuracy and the numbers behind it. My margin of error, the last 44 shows I did were within a 4-foot grouping, and I did every different angle, every different distance preparing for this America's Got Talent. We really, I don't think I've ever prepared for a show as much as I did that one, you know, and I had training partners through the whole thing that inspired me. My daughter Chloe was with me for the whole 6 months, basically prepping. We hiked every mountain, went to the gym every day in between shows. And then I moved on with Eric Bautista, who was with me on tour and got me in the gym all the time. And then Alexis Bollinger, my company manager, she really pushes me. And so we're hiking mountains in between 3 show days doing live performances. So this was one of those where I have one shot at the biggest crowd in the world. And if you look at that, like, no cannon's ever been pointed up that steep before. And so I really trained for it, and I was so confident going in.
Well, it shows. We are so excited to root you on, David. Thank you so much for coming on and getting up early. We're so excited to see the show.
All right.
So everybody can watch tonight. America's Got Talent Extreme premieres at 8 o'clock right here on KGW. David the Bullet Smith going to be taking on all those other acts. We cannot wait. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.